All loans subject to approval and change. See website for complete details. License number 392126.
Hey, Stokely here, and let me tell you, fall golf is the best golf Colorado has to offer, and it's not too late to get fully dialed in for the last few months of the season. At Embers Golf in Westminster, they're not just selling golf clubs, they're crafting a journey for golf lovers like you. It's a boutique-style shop, family-owned, with 2 hitting bays, all the major brands, and fully upgraded custom shafts. Come in for a full bag fitting. Trust me, there's nothing else like it around. Embers Golf, where your golf journey begins.
You worked hard for your 401k, but if you've left your job, your money might be sitting in the wrong hands. I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and it's very possible that the 401k that you have had for years has hidden fees and limited investment choices. But if you're no longer with the company, that 401k may be at the mercy of your former employer. All of these things could be costing you thousands. Rolling over your 401k into an IRA can provide better investment options that align with your long-term goals. At Trajan Wealth, we're fiduciary advisors that are held to a higher standard with no hidden agenda and no hidden fees. Don't let your retirement dollars sit in an old plan, and don't roll it over to your new plan without consulting Trajan Wealth first. Call Trajan today at 720-405-3300. That's 720-405-3300.
Advisory services are offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor.
Mike Evans here for Copperhead Plumbing. Your home doesn't have to flood before you know there's a problem. With the Mow and Flow Smart Water Shutoff System, you can monitor your home's water usage in real time right from your phone. You'll get notified the moment a leak starts. Trust Copperhead Plumbing for professional installation. Ask about installing a Mow and Flow system today.
Copperhead Plumbing, built to last. Call us once, you'll forget the past.
Copperhead Plumbing. They plumb different. They plumb custom.
At Common Spirit Health, we don't just see a cancer diagnosis. We see you, and you don't have to do this alone. We believe you should be surrounded by your people, so you can keep them close while you get care close to home. Supported by our care team from diagnosis to treatment and beyond, and strengthened by treatment tailored to you. Because there's no one-size-fits-all approach to cancer care. Find cancer care with human kindness close to you at mountain.commonspirit.org.
When you hear that a small Blizzard treat is just 85 cents with $1 purchase in the DQ app, it's a dream come true. Get your small Blizzard treat for just 85 cents with $1 purchase when you sign up for DQ Rewards. Participating locations only.
KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. You're listening to Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. It's Reaction Monday, powered by Superbook Sports. Welcome to Denver Sports Tonight.
Aftermath Monday edition of Denver Sports Tonight, Reaction Monday. I am Danny Williams, and with my guy Dante Gomez, the perfect duo to wrap up your evening, your drive home, you're on your way to pick your kids up from practice or drop off, you're grilling dinner, whatever it may be. Let's take it like a deep breath. Let's take a deep breath together, Dante. Ready? Hold on, one more. Okay, Broncos country, we can relax a little bit. I know we're kind of feeling, we're angry. We're a little bit pissed about, well, you can call that on every field goal in every NFL game week in and week out. Okay, maybe. Okay, that may be true. The reality is the Broncos just as a whole aren't quite there yet. There is wherever you had them, the expectations being. There to you might have been 11 wins and a playoff win. That was my kind of upper echelon expectations, okay? There for some people was an AFC championship contender plus, okay? Maybe even more than that. And then there's that like kind of niche-y, not haters, not keep it real guys. It's kind of weird, somewhere in between. On the edge guy who just thought the Broncos maybe last year were living a lie. A little bit inflated. Sophomore slump was inevitable. Dante, there's all sorts of feelings that man has. Okay, how do I feel? Well, I'm surprised Sean's not more angry about the call at the end of the game and didn't go torch the referees and he didn't go torch the league. I'm kind of really surprised. Myself, I don't play that game. I don't blame the referees because they didn't lose that game there on that call. They lost that game. Let me see here. Let me pull it up here. Giving up 473 yards of offense to the Colts. That's how they lost the game as a whole. And then Bo Nix made a critical mistake again. So for he's 4 turnovers, 4 picks. Shoot, 4 total turnovers through 2 games. 1-1 last year, 4 turnovers through 2 games, 0-2. So, okay, there's a little bit of improvement there. He threw 3 touchdowns in the first half of the game. They looked like the offense was kind of clicking, but they were just kind of forced to go toe-to-toe with the Colts, who, hey, Daniel Jones, I don't know if you're going to see or hear Daniel Jones, NFL MVP candidate anywhere, but this guy, and I said it when I had a chance to host pre-game on Sunday mornings, which I really enjoy doing and I appreciate doing. Try to bring some energy and some good stuff to that show. We've been really, really close to just being all over the predictions for the show from, we said first one at 20 2 weeks ago, and that played out. And then be very weary of the Colts who are good. They're a good team, and they're now a playoff team, bona fide. But I said be weary of Daniel Jones becoming Baker Mayfield, like the next Baker Mayfield kind of, the next Sam Darnold, the kind of a rebirth, or as Vance would say, it's a reboot, not a rebuild. Daniel Jones looked great. I mean, he was spectacular. He didn't throw the ball. The numbers would make you think he threw the ball 40 times. He was somewhere 27, 28 for 34. And, just really had the offense kind of going. Jonathan Taylor's still very special. And if he does this another couple years, then we're knocking on the Hall of Fame door a little bit. But this guy looked great. He was the engine. Makes it easy on Daniel Jones when this guy is, again, we said if he gets 100 carries, that the Colts win this game. I had it 26-24 like in a coin flip. Of course, I picked the Broncos. In these type of games, I will. I probably won't pick them against the Chargers. But Dante, in a few minutes, I've said lots of words. Can you just give me a little reaction to maybe anything that I've said?
Yeah, I mean, first, I think that them losing against Indy actually helps their chances against the Colts. I think you're going to see a little bit of a fire under these
against
guys.
the Chargers.
Yeah, against the Chargers.
I'm with you. We know what you meant.
I just think you're going to see a little bit of a fire under them after a game that was very much winnable. Up until the last seconds there, up until there were 0 seconds, we had an untimed down, which you don't see very often there. So I think it wasn't their best outing, but if you're surprised by how well the Colts played, I think that kind of shows that you weren't paying attention to them in week 1. But I think what's fair for people around here is to be surprised at how poor the Broncos defense played.
I wrote in some notes here, disappointed and bummed. Not surprised at all. That's the first thing I wrote at the top of the page because
Wait, not surprised with what? Just the result of the game?
The result of the game, and kind of furthermore, who and what the Broncos are right now today. Who and what the Broncos are right now today. Okay, still a top 7 team in the AFC. Okay, wheels aren't coming off. I know we're looking at what the boys said was the toughest schedule 3-game stretch of the season. But do you know what? Okay, again, the Bills and the Ravens are in another stratosphere to kind of who and what they are and are doing right now. And maybe, just maybe, the Broncos have caught the Chiefs. But now the Broncos are contending for playoff spot 5, 6, and 7 with who? The Colts, who may be living a lie, okay, or not. Might be fool's gold or not. The Bengals, who look to be done now because of the loss of Joe Burrow again. I would trade for Kirk Cousins immediately. He saves them. Kirk Cousins saves the Bengals with that kind of weaponry, and then maybe you bring Burrow back late in the season. But I would go. It might be financially irresponsible to do so. If I'm the Bengals, I trade for Kirk Cousins, and I do it right now, tomorrow.
Yeah, I saw they were in talks with the Giants and Jameis Winston potentially there too.
Yeah, but that's
you rather have Kirk?
Oh my God, yes. Kirk Cousins with this offense still throws at this point in 15 games 25 touchdowns. They'll give you 2 a game. They'll give you more. Might get to 30. Because now this guy's got nothing to lose, Kirk Cousins, and he's still, I think Kirk Cousins today is still a top 15 quarterback in the league. And that's not, I'm like, I love Kirk Cousins. It's just there's one guy who can save the Bengals, and if like that matters to them, it's that guy. Okay, so the Colts, the Bengals, the Dolphins who look cooked and done, the Patriots who some people believe are kind of like a 8-7 seed kind of contender, last playoff team in or out. The Broncos are still a top 10 playoff team, but do you know what they are to me? They're like, again, they're like a 10-win team who will get into the playoffs. You wanted to make a little bit more noise than they did last year. There's no shame in that. There's no shame in that at all. If again, Bo had this same terrible start he did last year, and what happened? Bo got to 29 touchdowns, 3,500 yards, 400 plus rushing. He was really good. So there is a bounce back from this. And Bo looked really good in the first half. But I'm not throwing Colin Cowherd under the bus. I'm throwing Colin Cowherd under the bus for saying Drew Lock was a quiet MVP candidate. The quiet MVP candidate, poor man's MVP candidate, Bo Nix days, at least this for this season are over. Okay? So, yeah. It's like, okay, we bounce back, we regroup. Dante, I kind of really liked what you said. Now they'll have something for the Chargers, who are playing on a short week. They're going to get everything from the Raiders tonight, who still have a new belief, a rebirth, maybe, of, hey, we got a new quarterback. We got the new best running back in the NFL. We got a couple pieces. We got the best tight end in the league. They think, and they got master motivator. I can just look at him clapping his hands right now, Pete Carroll, giving guys high fives and butt taps on the sideline. I love that guy, man.
They play a physical brand of football as well. They're going to run the ball, so the Chargers are they're going to be feeling it in their bodies, the next couple of days here before they have to ramp up for the Broncos next Sunday too. So I give the Broncos a good chance to go out and win next weekend.
Okay, again, I think if this game, Dante, against the Chargers was an Empower Field, I'd be maybe by the week's end. We're going to do some shows this week, a couple, you and I more this week. I might be able to talk myself into the Broncos winning this game. First 1-24 type of game. It's going to be within 3 points. In San Diego, in LA, and I got to see what happens tonight, obviously. If I'm going to keep it real with myself, okay, I couldn't pick the Broncos right now, today on Monday, to beat the Chargers on next Sunday in their building. So we'll get there, okay? We will kind of get there. So, okay, luckily what? The Chiefs are 0-2. That's a reality, okay? That is kind of reality. We are tonight probably cheering for the Raiders, right? Dante, stumbling, grumbling. Can we bring it to, could we do such a thing? Broncos country, cut me open. Like the Terminator, that one weird kind of scene, it gets cut just to prove he's robot. You see me bleed orange and blue would come pouring out of me. And I hate the Raiders.
Why would you rather root for the Raiders? Just because you think they're less of a threat to win the division than the Chargers?
No, because it's just then everybody, you're 1-1. The entire division's 1-1.
No, the Raiders would be 2-0.
Oh, if the Raiders, they won last week. Oh, do you know what? They'd be living a lie. Let me bounce back.
Okay, so less of a threat.
Yeah, no, just kind of fast start, living a lie through 17 games. The Raiders win, say, 7 games, and they would feel like they accomplished something. Pete Carroll, I have to go look at the little stint he had. His first NFL stint was with the Jets? Was it with New England?
Patriots?
Yeah, with the New England.
I don't know if it was first, but he was the Patriots
I don't want to say
coach
he laid the groundwork down for Belichick, but anywhere he's ever been, this guy's just proven. He's really proven he's one of the 10 greatest football coaches ever. And I mean high school, collegiate, pro. It's not a lot of guys have won, national championships and Super Bowls. Pete Carroll's really special, and he's timeless. He's still got it. So what does that mean? Best case scenario, the Raiders win 8 games. Brock Bowers is the best tight end in the league. The new running back, Ashton Genty's the best running back in the league as a rookie. He looks like Adrian Peters. All of those kind of things have to happen. They split all the way down their division and surprised everybody. They're not winning the division, but it solidified the division probably as the best in the NFL if the Raiders were 7 or 8 game winners, and the Broncos still win 10 games like we all think they do, and San Diego's maybe an 11 game winner again. And then what happens with the Chiefs? 10 games at least, right? They're still a 10 game winner.
Did last night, as far as the Broncos go, not last night, yesterday's game against the Colts, did that impact your win total for the Broncos this year?
Not at all, not a bit. I'm not shocked by this at all. I'm bummed. I'm disappointed. Okay? And I feel like they let a real opportunity kind of slip through their fingers. We know they jumped a step, maybe 2 steps last year to go from 5.5 wins, right?
Well, that was the win total.
That's what I'm saying.
Vegas
From
win total,
5.5, they doubled it. And one of the greatest quotes in Broncos history, we hope, is Sean saying, well, the next time I only win 6 games in the NFL will be the first time. Oh, man, I love that. It's hot. All right, I love that. Put that up on the locker room somewhere. It's motivating. Let's slap that every time we come into the room. You know what I mean? So I could appreciate that. That kind of stuff. But no, nothing's changed for me necessarily. They're still the 10-win team I thought they were. This season is laying the groundwork down for 2026, a real Super Bowl season, because third-year quarterback and Bo Nix. Listen, I took some heat on Sunday morning. Yesterday was Sunday, right? Yesterday morning, pregame, when I was like, a couple guys in that text line call you haters and stuff like that, and I don't kind of let myself get involved too much in I don't just read text line the whole show. But I was trying to explain to these guys, no, I'm not a hater at all. I may not like Bo Nix. Okay? I'm not saying that that's true. But I'm saying, I may not have fallen all the way in love with Bo Nix and asked him to marry me yet and told him I love him yet and meet my parents yet. I said that, okay? But I better learn to love it, like Ric Flair said. I may not like it. Broncos country. You may not like Bo Nix, but you better learn to love it, because this guy is the plan for the next 3 years, bare minimum. You got all of this year. Say, oh, man, we have injuries. Will's come off. He's had 15 interceptions to 25 touchdowns. The Broncos regress. Well, they're going to say, well, we jumped the gun last year. This should have been us last year. This is, it should have been us last year. Now we're going through these growing pains this year. Great show, Growing Pains. What a good show.
I haven't seen it, I don't think.
Oh, my God. I don't want to get anybody in trouble here, but the neighbors, like the kid on the show, this was NBC or CBS, ABC, so certainly we could say it. The name of the kid, the neighbor, they called him Boner. That was his name on the show, Boner. He was funny. Great show. And he's like, he might have went on to play some roles in The Sopranos or something like that, but a great show, Growing Pains. The growing pains the Broncos should have went through last year, they're going through, maybe going to have to go through it this year. They're definitely now, with the 1-1 start, not skipping another step to go to AFC Championship contention. Now, you had to have won that game to do so. Oh, there's 15 games left. Okay, to what? Get to 10 or 11 wins, which is now, look at the schedule. Hold on, you have the schedule in your hand? I'm grabbing it.
I do.
Dead air for 2 seconds. Ready? I'm back. Okay, I got the schedule in my hand. And let's look at it together. You ready, Dante?
Let's do it.
So the Chargers right now, win or loss?
I'm going to go win.
Oh, Dante, why?
Because I think the Chargers coming on a short week, and I think the Broncos, like I said, they're going to have a little bit of fire under them after losing last week. They are 1-1, but they almost feel like the way they're talking, it's 0-2. The way that they have a sense of urgency.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing, real quick?
I think it's a good thing. I think they have a sense of urgency.
Okay. But if you're in over your heads, maybe you don't know any better. If you're not as good as advertised, maybe you don't know any better.
Yeah, but they're going to try to be as good as advertised then. And all you can ask is for their best week of preparation going into the game.
I'm not saying they were living a lie last year. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it was fool's gold, but I think a lot more things health-wise, schedule-wise, just kind of happened for the Broncos last year that, got you to 10 wins when I think we're all surprised. Hey, how'd they Bo Nix through 29 touchdowns? Really? I thought 24 or 25 it felt like. 10 wins for the Broncos? It's probably a lot better. I mean, they doubled the expectations. They literally doubled Vegas expectations. What?
Well, real quick, Danny. So talking about last year's record and, quote unquote, if they were living a lie or not. Last year we saw the Broncos absolutely be incredible against non-playoff teams.
Yep.
Do you think that continue?
Kevin Kistner did some numbers that were like every average team the Broncos, losing team, 500 or below, the Broncos beat.
Where do you
they're 6-1 against winners.
Do you see that continuing in this year, and where do you see the Colts fitting into that conversation? Are they a winning team or a losing team that we already have more losses against losing teams this year than we did last year?
Dante, beautiful question. I think there's two teams now have proven to be in the AFC a class and stratosphere, okay? All just above us. And that is the Bills and the Ravens. And we had a chance to see them play each other last week. And if you took a good look at what was going on there, that looked like, hey, the varsity team in the Broncos and the rest of the NFL, don't get me wrong, is at a JV level, minus maybe the Eagles and a couple teams in the end. Not a lot of other teams. Okay, so here's my point. I think they've caught the Chiefs, but they're catching the Chiefs in a decline, a dissension. I don't mean a decline if they're not Super Bowl contenders anymore. They're just not going to win 9 single-digit games this year. Kelsey's pissed off at the world. We know that Brittany Mahomes and Taylor aren't besties anymore. So it's like, that stuff matter or not? Imagine you're a guy you spend tons of time with, one of your best friends, and your girlfriends hate each other. That's not going to probably go very well, okay? It's not going to. So you just see the decline. Naturally, any dynasty in the NFL in the history of the league is about the run they've had right now is kind of part of the decline. You're thinking, what about the Patriots? Well, it took them 9 years to win Super Bowls between.
Yeah, they kind of had 2 dynasties.
Exactly. It was a gap there. Okay, so where was I? In that discussion there, I was saying,
where do the Colts fit into the conversation of are they a winning team or a losing team
right now? By the end of the season,
yes,
I think they flip it. They were 8-9 last year, which shouldn't surprise us because they gave us a win, and then we say what around here, Dante? The football is shaped funny and bounces weird. They probably feel like there was 2 other games they should have won. They finished with 8 wins. Gave one of the Broncos that's 9 wins. We were 10 wins gets you in. 10 wins gets you in, and then they have and that was last year with last year's situation at quarterback. This year they feel like, hey, Daniel Jones is the next Darnold, the next Baker. He's the next NFL Renaissance story. We've known the guy's had a bunch of talent, and we've known he's been somewhat competitive with good surrounding talent to Saquon's. You strip the guy of Saquon and give you Darius Slayton, and you're cooked. You can't do it. He needs more. He's not that kind of guy. He needs more, and he looks like it's all his fault, which maybe it just wasn't all Daniel Jones's fault in New York. I mean, he was good enough for them to earn that big second contract that they paid him. So I'm not saying Daniel Jones is anything other than a fast start. Don't get me wrong. But I also wish the Broncos didn't add to now the NFL's comeback player of the year story.
But by the end of the year, will this be like a bad spot on the Broncos' resume?
No.
Like, do you remember back in September when they lost to the Colts?
No.
Or is it going to be they took the Colts to the wire, and these are 2 playoff teams we're talking about?
Good stuff. Bottom half of NFL standings. Okay, or not bottom half of NFL AFC standings. Listen, Patriots 1-1, Dolphins 0-2. Dolphins probably end up winning 7 or 8 games still, even at this point. Again, I'm just giving you teams that we thought would be bottom feeder AFC teams like the Raiders, who could be 0-2 after tonight. 1-1, probably win 7 games. The Steelers are flirting with playoffs. The Browns are 0-2 and in a tough division. They might be a 5-win team. Okay. But again, the Jaguars, the Texans, the Titans, who actually hung around with the Rams until the 4th quarter of that game, and then the Colts. It's like a poop division, kind of. But someone's going to win that division, and then someone else in that division might flirt with 8 or 9 wins. There might be a 9-win playoff team in the AFC this year. So what does that mean for the Broncos? Don't be the 7th team. Try to be the 5th team. Because then you're getting probably the Colts. Or, do you know what? I think the Texans, they didn't do anything in the offseason that kind of knocked me off my socks. And C.J. Stroud in 2 years, even though they've won the division and made the playoffs for 2 straight years, and they did it by really turning around a bottom feeder, he's thrown like 23 touchdowns one year and 21 touchdowns the next year. So what they do isn't based off of C.J. Stroud's 30 touchdowns a year and just this guy's the truth and he's just going to carry us through games. I'm not sold on the Texans this year. Colts or Jags probably win that division for me. So the Broncos, where are you right now if we're doing an AFC, Dante? We're doing right now an AFC power rankings. We're going to do it together, okay? My brother. Who's your number one team in the AFC? Can we say the Bills?
I'm good with that.
Are we good with that? Okay, how about your second team in the AFC? Can we say it's the Ravens, even though they're 1-1 and the Bengals are 2-0?
I'm good with the Ravens as well.
Okay. We are fixing to treat ourselves to one game's already quite a way bit through the game here. The first Monday night game tonight, Tampa Bay and Texas. Is that halftime already in that game? Okay, that game's
No, it's still going. It's still going.
Okay, I thought that game.
Sorry, it is halftime. Sorry, my bad.
No,
it is halftime.
I thought I might have had just like ESPN2 and you have the game coverage.
You were right. It is halftime.
That game started way earlier than I thought. So my point is we're going to have a chance to see what the Chargers and the Raiders look like tonight. But Dante, you lead us here. Who's the third best team in the AFC today?
That's a tough one.
No, it is. But it'll get easier after we get through 3 and 4 here, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
let's play ball.
I'll go Chargers for now.
Yeah, it is. That's right.
They looked pretty good in week 1, and it's hard to put them over the Chiefs if they just beat the Chiefs. It's hard to put the Chiefs over them since they just beat the Chiefs last week.
I'm with you, Dante. I'm with you 100%. Okay. So then after we go through those 3 teams, okay, the Broncos just suffered, I think, a grinder. Okay, in week 1 against a Titans team that doesn't know any better and was maybe they were closer than we thought to winning the game or further than we thought to winning the game. But Kelvin really catches a couple balls. That thing's a lot more interesting. And then you just lose to maybe the surprise. Remember how everyone thought the Broncos were the big jump surprise team in the AFC this year? No one kind of fit that mold. And that's why they got all that national run and love after Kay Adams kind of starts to, woo them. Well, maybe it's the Colts. Who have, people look at their defense not as good as maybe even some Colts defenses of the last couple of years, but offensive skill talent, if Daniel Jones could find a way to use Michael Pittman, Jonathan Taylor, Ty Warren, the sensation who's sweeping the nation here, just got into it with Phil on the way out because I called Phil out a little bit. Not a call out, but just like they said, I'd rather have Warren basically than Jade. And I said, if Jade's a starting 1 or 2 corner on a top 10 AFC team for the next 10 years, rather than if Warren's not one of like the 5 or 6 best tight ends in the league, then like 7 through 15 are just in a whole different tier of guys. I'd rather have Jade, I said. But Phil goes, he called me out and goes, how about now? You still feel the same? And I was like, listen, Philip Lindsay, listen to me, okay? I don't like the way you're talking to me. You're talking to me all wrong. It's the wrong tone. But maybe I might change my attitude because you are a professional NFLer. And Ty Warren is maybe potentially pretty special, okay? Look pretty good. And Zach goes on the way out, yup, 6'5" and twitchy. And I was like, all right, guys, it's 2-on-1. That's not fair. It's just me hosting solo tonight with Dante. Okay?
Well, it's going to be 3-on-1 because I'd rather have Warren as well. Then Jade Barron's been fine.
No, but we haven't had a chance to see what he's really capable of.
That's fair, but Tyler Warren, 2 games in, we know what he's capable of, and this is just the start of his season,
but
his career.
No, I feel you, Dante. I keep throwing the Bradley Roby comp out there, who I thought had a really nice career here, like all things considered, before going, to the Texans and a couple other spots and playing 10 years. I mean, So, okay, let's go to break. We're going to come back. We're going to continue the conversation. We're not turning a page yet. It's like, today, if you're listening to music, it should be all sad songs. We don't, after that loss, Broncos country, we don't deserve to feel good about anything. But do you know what? The sun will rise tomorrow. You're not over it tomorrow? Wednesday's usually the day we kind of turn the page a little bit, and we could focus on the Chargers. Let's see what the Chargers look like, look like tonight. I'm still rooting for the Raiders. A 2-0 Raiders start scares me the least of all things. As we know, the Chiefs are 0-2, and the Chargers would be 1-1 alongside the Broncos as well. So, I got a couple things here. We'll do a little bit of if they were to lose to the Chargers. Again, you got the Bengals, and it looks like Browning and not Kirk Cousins, who I would trade for if I'm the Bengals the following week. I'm not saying could they give one away against the Chargers next week, but I have a plan here against the Chargers, and we'll talk about it next.
Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok at Denver Sports 1043 to stay up to date on all your local teams. Denver Sports 1043. The Fan.
Your air duct cleaning experts, Ductworks.
Hey guys, Mark Schlereth here. Fall has arrived, which makes now the perfect time to call your air duct cleaning experts, Ductworks, at 303-425-0985. Ductworks complete ventilation cleaning packages, scrapes and vacuums every inch of your system, removing dirt, dust, and debris other companies leave behind. Here's why that matters. Your heating system kicks on in the fall. Dirty ducts can reduce efficiency, raise your energy bills, push dust into your home's air. A professional cleaning now helps your furnace run better, last longer, and keep your family breathing cleaner air. Don't wait until the first cold snap when everyone else is scrambling. Get ahead of the rush. Call Ductworks today at 303-425-0985 or visit ductworks.com for your free residential and commercial estimate. Your air duct cleaning experts, Ductworks.
303-425-0985.
Done right kitchens, baths, counters and floors, finished basements, windows and doors. Our 8% scheduling incentive and bank financing to ask about make a great time to call 800-362-8370 or drhi.com.
Attention golf lovers, the city of Aurora has you covered this fall. Home to 5 beautiful courses, there's no better place to play than Aurora. What's up guys, it's Zach here. I enjoy leaf peeping every fall, but instead of heading to the mountains, I'm heading to my local Aurora golf courses. Saddle Rock, Aurora Hills, Spring Hill, Meadow Hills, and Murphy Creek have stunning Rocky Mountain views with the fall colors we adore. For more information and to book a tee time, visit golfaurora.com and give them a follow on Facebook, X, and Instagram at Golf Aurora CO.
Donnie here with Fitness Gallery. I'm thrilled to invite you to our biggest event of the season, the summer clearance sale happening right now at all 7 of our Colorado locations. Save up to 50% off on select premium equipment. These deals end soon.
Is an IRS tax problem keeping you up at night? Join Todd from Advanced Tax Solutions for a free online workshop on Wednesday, September 17th. Todd will cover the 7 solutions to fix an IRS problem and get you on your way to having clarity and a plan with a licensed professional guiding your way. In this free workshop, he'll cover things like when will the taxes expire? It's actually possible this could just go away. You'll learn the IRS program to permanently settle your debt for less than you owe and several other important answers that will help you take control of your IRS problem. Todd will teach you what you need to know to get out of debt with the IRS for good and build a future you can be proud of. Don't pass up this free workshop with a licensed professional with 30 years of IRS resolution experience. Reserve your spot now by calling 303-753-6040.
Men, the summer is here. Longer days, warmer nights, and romance in the air. Intimate dinners, walks on the beach, dancing in the moonlight. But if you have erectile dysfunction, you know it can ruin romance, both for you and the one you love. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, and if you have ED, don't let another summer go by without getting treated. Because intimacy is one of the greatest things in life, and fear of not being able to perform should not be something you have to deal with. At the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, we're ED experts. We've successfully treated tens of thousands of men. Our protocols work when others don't, and we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. You could even last up to an hour or more and perform like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial appointment is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
Hey guys, Mark Schlereth here from my friends at Xfinity, and the other day I'm over at a friend's place. He's pumped to watch football, but his setup, total mess. Lagging, buffering, switching between apps, trying to find a game. He claimed to be a big fan, but I feel like I was being fan-fished. See, if you call yourself a football fan, you gotta have Xfinity. It's the ultimate sports destination. I could find the best games and my favorite teams all in one place. And the way I watch, well, it's next level. It's the perfect fan flex. I've got all the action right in my living room, plus Xfinity's best picture and sound with enhanced 4K, so clear it feels like I'm in the stadium. Sometimes I've got 4 games going on at once. Why? Because why not? On top of that, I get real-time notifications, live stats right on my TV. It's the best seat in the house every single time. Next game day, make sure that big fan isn't a big fail. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that.
Restrictions apply. Multi-view requires Xfinity 4K cable TV box.
It's Denver Sports Tonight on Denver Sports Station 104.3 The Fan.
I kind of realized we went through the whole first segment and we didn't cast a lot of blame on the defense. And I'm not like, okay, defense, we're going to blame you for everything because you have the most expectations on this team to kind of lead us to where we all thought we were going to be. It wasn't good. First half, it was kind of a mess. Something seems a little bit wrong with Patrick Surtain. I think he got hurt at some point in the game. And they will make an adjustment. The defense, there were some highs and lows last year. The expectations were different last year, and the culmination this year is number one defense, the expectation. To me, no, I'm not greedy. Give me the 6th or 7th best defense with a bunch of sacks and a bunch of turnovers, and I can kind of live with that. But, I said I kind of have a plan with the Chargers, and Dante and I are kind of not – we're going to go through just the immediate future of the schedule. We kind of got, cut off there. But just like what do the Broncos look like just moving forward over the next few weeks? We'll kind of get there. But I think it's like I don't have expectations for these Broncos to be much more than one of the non-division winning AFC playoff teams. So that's 5, 6, and 7, Dante. You're looking at me funny. What?
No. I was going to say, don't you have higher expectations for the defense than what we saw yesterday?
No. It's a kind of a balancing act. No, because last year the defense got cooked by the best teams in the AFC.
Yeah,
carved.
This was the Colts. This was Daniel Jones.
Again,
he gets called Danny Dimes as a joke. It's sarcastic how bad he was in New York.
And that's why I kind of never thought the Broncos were going to be the best defense in the NFL. Man, the bells and whistles, all that comes along with it, man. Okay, to be a good team in the NFL.
Right, well, real quick, I'm not talking about being the best defense in the NFL, but like top 5. A top 5 defense does not look like that against the Colts.
Oh, no way.
That was a bottom 10 for sure, maybe bottom 5 defense in the NFL that we saw yesterday.
I think big picture that was one of 2 or 3 games, maybe 4 games where they're going to have it. They're going to look that bad because those guys are pros too. The Colts are better than we think. I'd say now the Colts are a playoff team in the AFC. I'd say right now today the Colts are a playoff team in the AFC. And that's another thing we didn't kind of finish, kind of the loose ends of we power ranked the AFC. And, of course, we know the Bills are the 1, Ravens 2, Chargers are 3. But then what? Who's kind of where's the rest of the teams at there? The Broncos, all things considered, I'd probably put the Chiefs in front of the Broncos. Okay, it's the Chiefs still. I got to put some respect on their name. But then it's kind of like the Broncos to me, if I had to choose right now today. So I think the defense is going to bounce back. The defense will bounce back. And again, we asked a question last week on the hit show, Danny and Cello, featuring my guy Chavi, who's back in the studio right now. He's great. I wouldn't trade him for the world. There's another dude I'd rather have. We said, are you getting the Colts at the right time or the wrong time? Turns out we got him at the wrong time because of who and what they are just right now. The belief in Daniel Jones, the belief in we were a playoff team last year, we just needed a quarterback and we got one. He doesn't need to don't do too much, do just enough because we got skill guys. Okay? And we got the best running back in the league 4 weeks out of the NFL season. He still got that in him. And we have now when you're one of the best tight ends in the league, a young tight end, you could be like that guy overnight. You don't got to wait. Brock Bowers had over 100 catches last year, so Ty Warren's going to bring something to them really special that probably makes life a lot easier for a quarterback in Daniel Jones. So I think that the Colts are probably going to the playoffs now.
Yeah, but just because they're a playoff team doesn't mean your defense is allowed to look like that against them.
No, not at all. But what I'm saying is if you have them, beating the Chargers this week, the give and the take of, well, we just gave one away, but we're kind of, in a sense, stealing one against what a lot of people would say, majority 6 out of 10 would say that's a loss for the Broncos. So you're getting one back there. Now we're back to your listeners on track, whatever their on track might be. If you were to, again, and that's what it would be, stealing a win from the Steelers, against the Chargers in L.A., So, yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, Dante.
Yeah.
And no disrespect to you, we're going to be doing radio all week together. You might be able to talk me into it by the end of the week. But right now I'm thinking Chargers, and I haven't even seen what they're going to do tonight, probably got one for the Broncos, who are not. Trends are everything in the NFL. In that league, trends are, you ride them. And the trends right now of the Broncos are a mess. They're turning it over. There's Sean and Bo barking at each other. I'm going to say he's looking like a baby, but I'm like, Bo, you're not there yet, bro, to be acting that kind of demonstrative of a fashion. Who are you mad at, Bo? Like, who are you pissed at, bro? Be mad at yourself. I'm not quite sure who he's angry with, other than, hey, you're running the show. You're taking the chances. On 3rd and 3, you're throwing picks. You're not moving the chains. You're not tucking it and heading up the middle of the field with a little crevice there for 7 yards and a first down, drive extender, throw that first down out there, get everybody all fired up. No, that hasn't been you at all this year. So Sean, Bo's been a bit of a mess. And Dante, I'm just not. I wouldn't go. We said it last week. I wouldn't go to the team store and spend the $200 on Bo Nix jersey just yet. And I'm no cheapskate. Oh, $200, it's nothing these days. Okay, maybe you're right. Okay, you're right. If I go to Cheesecake Factory, there's $100. Okay, anything, anywhere. Okay, but when you start spending a couple $100 in a meal, you're like, we should just went to Shanahan's. Okay, that's what I'm thinking. But I just think that I may not love Bo Nix just yet. We've been probably like on 3 or 4 dates. And they've been good dates. I've introduced him to some of my friends, couple pictures on social media, Facebook together, but I haven't told Bo Nix I love him yet. It's not like, Bo, I want you to meet my parents. We're going to our condo in Breckenridge this weekend. I'd love for you to meet them. Are you ready for that? Yeah, I think so. And then that weekend, of course, you tell her, Bo, in this sense, me to Bo Nix, I love you. I'm not there yet. But like Ric Flair said, I may not love Bo Nix yet. I may not necessarily like it, but I better learn to love it because this guy's the plan no matter what for the next 3 calendar years. Until he proves he's not going to earn that second contract with the Broncos, or until he proves he's a 10-game winner plus, which that's on the table still. 10 wins as a rookie, will bounce back, give you the same numbers, slow start to the season, get beat by the Chargers, lose to Cincinnati, lose to Philly. Oh, no, the wheels are falling off. They're 1-4. Who could save us? Only Tim Tebow at 1-4, right? Well, then you beat the Jets. You beat the Giants. You beat Dallas. Maybe you beat Houston. Maybe you win the next 4 before you host the Raiders, okay? I mean, they have a stretch where they can get hot, and then the Chiefs after that. You're hosting the Chiefs after that before a bye week. Before the bye week, the Broncos have a chance to get really, really hot. But right now, who and what they are, Dante, who and what they are yesterday is telling me they do not beat the Chargers in L.A. at SoFi this next week. I think the best thing the Broncos have going for them is, you said, bad taste in your mouth, and Joe Burrow is out the following week.
Well, and that's what I was curious about. So yesterday's performance from the Broncos, do you think that's who this team is, or do you think it was just a bad day for those guys? Do you expect them to be better going forward?
Yeah, Dante, I think they're going to get better because look at last year. They couldn't have been worse over the first 2 games, and Bo Nix as a rookie, just getting his ears wet. Wet behind the ears?
Yeah,
I think I said that wrong. I don't even understand what the saying. Why did I say it? Yeah, they're going to be better. But now, the expectations to win 12 games, dreams, those things are over with. Now we're just trying to win 10 or 11 again, like I always thought they were. And, Dante, to add to that in a twist, the Colts are, again, I put them into the playoffs. They're one of the 7 best teams now, I think, in the AFC today as we currently stand. So, yeah, the Broncos are going to be better, and by the end of the season, they'll be better than the Colts, okay? But they're miles away from the Bills and the Ravens. Maybe have caught the Chiefs. We'll talk about the rest of the division. We'll talk about the rest of what happened around the league yesterday, man. The NFL, I just love it so much. Let's talk about all things NFL, and we'll do it next.
The Broncos fell to the Colts and experienced their first loss of the season. Will Denver get things back on track before a divisional matchup with the Chargers? Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Mom, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotion. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. Consequently, they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Dial pound 250 and say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
No parades, no confetti, just quiet wins that changed everything.
Real people, real results. Soda weight loss works. Just ask Ramon.
Tying my shoes without grunting, taking stairs without gasping, running around with my kids without needing a break. That's what Soda gave me. In 16 weeks, I dropped 82 pounds.
Let that sink in. He lost 82 pounds. That's amazing.
Think about all that weight lifted off your bones. I owe my life to Soda. That's not hyperbole. With Soda, you don't feel alone. You get your own nutritionist guiding you every step along the way.
What are you waiting for? Just imagine your friends and family's reactions when you show up at holiday parties 30, 40, 50 pounds lighter. Get started now for the best season of your life with our partner program. Because when you join now, your partner joins for free.
Go to sodaweightloss.com. SOTA stands for state of the art. sodaweightloss.com. sodaweightloss.com.
Soda is, say it with me, state of the art.
Worried about market losses? If headlines are keeping you up at night, it's time to take control. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and I know you've worked hard to save. But in times like these, what if can turn into what now? If you're planning to retire or are in retirement, you need a strategy that helps protect your future. At Trajan Wealth, you can capture market gains, protect your account from losses, and guarantee income for life. Right now, you could receive a bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10% for retirement income. You heard me right. An upfront bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10%, all guaranteed to boost your lifetime income in retirement. Don't leave your future to chance. Plan with confidence. Call Trajan today at 720-405-3300. That's 720-405-3300.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company, DBA, in most states as Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions.
Dan Jacobs with 303 Law 4040. It's football season, and did you know that I am the reigning fan staff champion in the King Supers Football Pick'em? Yep, Stokely, Schlereth, Zachby, Cecil Lemmy, none of them can hang with the judge when it comes to football. Just like those made-for-TV lawyers can't hang with me in the courtroom. When you've been hurt in a car accident, you want the real deal, which is what you get when you call 303 Law 4040. Not some made-for-TV character. When you call 303 Law 4040, you speak directly with me or my lovely wife, Kimberly, not some call center overseas. And you get to meet with us in person for free. We never take a dime unless we win for you. Plus, no ridiculous fees like those TV characters. You were the one that was hurt, so the doctors and the lawyers shouldn't take all the money. So go ahead, save that number in your phone. You never know when you're going to need it. It's 303-LAW-4040, 303-LAW-4040.
Cake Mortgage Corp. Equal Housing Lender. NMLS number 1734623. Regulated by the Colorado Division of Real Estate. Terms and conditions apply based on approved credit.
How is it that I make all this money and still can't buy a home?
That's because you went to an outdated lender. I went to Cake, and now I'm in my dream home.
Wait, how'd they pull that off? We're both self-employed.
They look at real income, like your bank deposits or certified profit and loss, not just your tax returns. Cake has flexible mortgage options made for people like us.
Okay, but what if I want to buy a rental property?
Even better, Cake has a program just for that. And it doesn't matter if your monthly rentals don't cover the mortgage. They can look at the potential of the property, not just the current rental income.
That's it. How do I reach these guys?
Their website is cakehome.com, but I called 888 888-EAT-CAKE.
Okay, got it. So it's 888-EAT-CAKE, right?
Yeah, call 888-EAT-CAKE for more details and learn why life's better with cake.
Joel Klatt, the nation's leading voice in college football, joins Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth every Wednesday morning. Presented by Groove Toyota. Here we go. Tune in at 8:10 for exclusive insight, bold analysis, and maybe just a hint of shenanigans. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan. Denver Sports Station 104.3 The Fan presents Denver Sports Tonight.
We are back in final segment, Aftermath Monday edition of Denver Sports Tonight. I am Danny Williams, Dante Gomez along with me. A little bit of time left here. Dante got a league basketball game tonight. Starts right before 7:30. Got to cruise out of here. Same league Josh Dover is in. Beat his team in a thriller a couple of weeks ago. Not the playoffs yet, but a regular season matchup that was touted. Standing room only. And looking forward to go getting a win here tonight.
What's the stat line looking like tonight?
For me,
Yes.
I'm like a KCP, a little bit 3-and-D, and I can pass the ball, move it a little bit. I'm probably averaging around 8 points, 7-8 points. So I average about 60 points as a team. I'm like the first guy off the bench. I get in my contract, it's starting minutes, but there are some guys who I used to be one of the young dudes, Dante. Now I'm like an old grizzled stallion, But yeah, looking forward to that tonight. I looked at you guys can look at the NFL scoreboard from the weekend, and you could look through 2 weeks of the NFL season. And, the AFC is what matters to the Broncos and to Broncos country. But how many teams have really looked like world beaters right now besides the Bills? Don't forget the Ravens, and they look spectacular. I think the Bills have a chance to go to the Super Bowl. They're definitely going to the AFC Championship game in my book. Are 1-1, okay, and in a pretty kind of tough division there. So, who's been great? Who's been great to start the NFL season in the AFC where you're just like, man, the Broncos they're a couple tiers down below these teams. I only think there's two, the Bills and the Ravens. I'm interested to who and what the Chargers are this season as a whole. Now that Harbaugh's got more of all of his kind of, they bought the house. He had a chance he's painted the walls and they knocked a wall down and all that. Now it's like really Jim Harbaugh's guys and outfit. And what does that look like? There's a chance the Chargers are really good, okay? I kind of believe that. I like Herbert. I think he's underrated, underestimated. I think he's a physical specimen, the likes of, the closest thing to Josh Allen that we might kind of have in the AFC. I think they have a chance to be really, really good. But then the Broncos are kind of, you look at the standings. Look at what's happening around the rest of the league. That Colts look good right now. They're in a really bad division. They're in, the first one to just kind of survive the division. First one to win 9 games might win that division. I'm not a believer in the Texans. I kind of am not. Give me some other teams, Dante, that you feel like are. Is there any other teams that you feel like are a class, a league, a tier above who and what the Broncos are right now? I'm looking at around the league, and the Packers have elevated themselves in a big-time way. The Lions look like they're back. The Eagles look like they have a chance to kind of repeat, and the Rams have a chance to be kind of special too. But then the rest of the NFC, they're thinking like the Broncos a little bit. If you're just an average NFC team, you're thinking we could be the 5, 6, or 7 seed. So let me ask you, Dante, with what happened yesterday with the Broncos, has that changed your perception, complexion, prediction, and anything?
Season outlook wise, pretty similar still. I still see them as a probably 10-11 win team.
Okay.
Maybe that's good enough to win the division. Probably more of like a 5 or 6 seed in the playoffs.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
But I was not encouraged by yesterday. But if it continues to look like yesterday and that defense continues to get gashed, like that, especially, just miscue after miscue with Jonathan Taylor running all over them. Jonathan Taylor catching the ball out of the backfield. He was wide open on two of those, at least those little, wheel routes out to the right there. So if it looks like that, I will definitely have to change my expectations and win total for this. I'm assuming it's a one-off. The way that they spoke after the game, it sounded like they were not very they weren't happy with their own performance, so I'm assuming that they're going to be able to get some of that stuff fixed going forward here. But yeah, I still see them as the 10 and 11 wins.
Yeah.
Not in the top tier of the AFC, but certainly I'd go like tier 2 in the AFC. But again, not based on what I saw yesterday. This is more me forecasting an eye test of what I think they can be.
You can still run the ball in the Broncos if you choose to and have the capabilities to do so, running back, offensive line, physicality. You can do that against the Broncos. And my cousin, who I hope with, kind of turned me on to a thought that I don't have any science behind it, but I'm going to go look into it. He says Vance Joseph's defenses, you can run on them. You always have. And that's always kind of a glaring hole within a Vance Joseph defense. And Vance would say, God, well, it's a reboot, not a rebuild. It's a humbling. I'm excited to be here. It's humbling. But I got to kind of look into that because Jonathan Taylor, man, killed these guys. And it really feels like, again, Josh Jacobs killed this team forever. It feels like the Broncos give up tons of – maybe these guys are great runners, and they're breaking off 80, 90, 100 yards against everybody in the league. But Vance Joseph's defensive here, I'm throwing out the theory, the thought, maybe somebody can help us, of can you run the ball in Vance's defenses?
We saw that last year. The Bills ran all over them. It was not particularly close in terms of the defense in the Bills' offensive will to run the ball. So maybe that is a little nugget that people aren't talking about enough, that it is too easy to run the ball on this Broncos defense, and maybe they're they have one of the best secondaries in the NFL, so that would make sense that if you're trying to attack this defense, I know Pat Surtain didn't have the best game yesterday, but it would make more sense to avoid going after him, avoid going after the secondary, and not let those pass rushers get going too, because they led the league in the NFL in sacks last year as well. So maybe that the secret's out. You can run the ball on the Broncos, and that's going to be a lot of teams playing going forward here.
Third youngest team in the NFL are the Denver Broncos. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if that has changed. With a few, handful of moves that they have made. But let's kind of keep that in mind as the progression to where we want to be, Bills-Ravens, is still in front of us. It's just further in front of us than we kind of thought. But Broncos country, you have no reason to feel down bad about yourself. To make the playoffs, your luck, ball-shaped funny bounces, where it's schedule, talent, play calling, health, all these factors kind of have to align themselves. Broncos are still in good position to make the playoffs. They're probably just not that 12, 13 game winner we all thought they were. For Dante Gomez, I am Danny Williams. We appreciate you guys and we love you guys. Good night, Sheila.
Dover and Cecil.
The right decision is announcing Julian Lewis as the starting quarterback the rest of the season. The answer is Julian Lewis. Stop playing these stupid games. You're not winning anything this year with Caden Salter or Ryan Staub. Let's develop Julian Lewis so that we don't waste next year either.
Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Donnie here with Fitness Gallery, where we believe there's nothing more important than your health. I'm thrilled to invite you to our biggest event of the season, the summer clearance sale happening right now at all 7 of our Colorado locations. Save up to 50% off on select premium equipment.
Hi, I'm Terrell Davis, 2-time world champion and Pro Football Hall of Famer. That's why I made the smart move to invest in fitness equipment with Fitness Gallery. It's a game changer.
Our summer clearance sale won't last long. These deals end soon.
Mike Evans here for Copperhead Plumbing. Your home doesn't have to flood before you know there's a problem. With the Mow and Flow Smart Water Shutoff System, you can monitor your home's water usage in real time right from your phone. You'll get notified the moment a leak starts. Trust Copperhead Plumbing for professional installation. Ask about installing a Mow and Flow system today.
Copperhead Plumbing, built to last. Call us once, you'll forget the past.
Copperhead Plumbing. They plumb different. They plumb custom.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 in monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
I just saw 2 houses for sale. Same neighborhood, almost identical, but one had an Orchard sign and it sold for way more. So I asked my friends at Orchard, why? The first house used a traditional agent. After weeks of price drops and frustration, they settled for less than they'd hoped for. The second homeowner chose Orchard and got more. Their local Orchard agent didn't just list a home, they marketed it. They knew